I've been doing some experimenting with nasal rinses because my colds have been so bad this year and a sinus infection that will not die. So I was just using a regular saline wash, but it did not seem to be effective, and I was having to use like the 12-hour nasal spray about every 4 hours, and taking pseudoephedrine every 12 hours, and I was still having a lot of problems even though I was trying to use the nasal rinse 4 times a day. So I did some research on some of the herbs that I have that I grew this summer, and I found ones that are supposed to be good for when you have a really dry but stuffy nose and you just can't blow it out no matter how hard you try. And so I've been using this for 48 hours now, and it seems to be working. I'm down to only using the 12-hour nasal spray every 12 hours anyway, but still not completely clear. And it doesn't work that way. You have to do it for several days, and then you need to continue to do it even once you're free of infection. At least twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. But anyway, so I'm going to show you how I made it. You need 1 tablespoon of calendula blossoms dried, 1 tablespoon of comfrey leaf dried, and 1 tablespoon of yarrow, both leaf and flowers, or one or the other, whatever you have. And then you'll need 1 teaspoon of natural salt with nothing else in it, no silicon dioxide or iodine or sugar or anything, just plain natural salt with the only ingredient. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So to start, you'll need to infuse the petals into a tea. So if you don't have an infuser, you can just put them in a bowl and pour a cup of boiling water over them, just 1 cup. And then you let that steep for about 15 minutes. Alright, after the tea has steeped for 15 minutes or so, then it's time to strain it. If you don't have an infuser like me, you can just put it over a sieve or some cheesecloth and drain the water through it. Okay. And you have here, you add your salt and your baking soda in, and I have to go get a spoon. I forgot to have a spoon. Be right back. Okay, and you stir the salt and the baking soda into the tea, and then you pour the tea into your bottle or your neti pot if you use a neti pot. I don't use a neti pot because I never do it right, and I always end up with the solution all over me instead of up my nose and in my sinus cavities. So this recipe will fill the Neilmed bottle, and then you use it throughout the day. You should use the whole cup throughout the day and then make a fresh solution the next day. Okay, then you put your bottle back on, you cover the hole, you shake it up really good, and you wait until it cools off enough to to go up your nose. You want it to be warm, but in no way able to burn you. And I use the Neilmed Sinus Risk bottle. It comes with little salt packets, but I don't use them because I have no way of knowing the source of the salt. So anyway, then you just use it as any irrigation rinse, and it's been working for me. I'm not a doctor, and I don't have a certificate in herbalism. This is just what I have figured out from my own research. So that's my disclaimer, and maybe it'll work for you. It works for me. Hopefully it'll work completely and knock this cold out for once and for all.